IELTS Listening. Section 4. You will hear a lecturer giving a lecture about the polar bears. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now we shall begin. You should answer the question as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer the questions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's lecture on Arctic wildlife. In this session, we're going to take a deep dive into the world of the polar bear, one of the most iconic and well-adapted creatures found in Earth's coldest environments. Known for their white fur and powerful build, polar bears are master survivors of the North. But more importantly, they also serve as vital indicators of the health of our planet's climate. Let's begin with their hunting behavior. Polar bears are heavily dependent on the ice of the ocean. Now, this isn't just a frozen surface, it's a critical hunting platform. Without access to these icy areas, polar bears simply can't access their prey efficiently. You might be surprised to know that they spend more time on ice than on land, using it to track and capture food. Speaking of food, what exactly do they eat? Well, their preferred meal is seals. More specifically, they target the thick, energy-rich layer of blubber that seals carry beneath their skin. It may sound strange, but they sometimes eat only the fat and leave the rest behind, especially when food is abundant. This selective diet helps them build up reserves for fasting periods. To survive in freezing temperatures, polar bears rely on a thick insulating layer of fat beneath their skin. This not only protects them from the cold, but also provides buoyancy when swimming long distances between ice sheets, sometimes for hours at a time. Interestingly, despite being born and raised in frozen territories, polar bears are considered as oceanic mammals. Why? Because their lives revolve around the ocean, from traveling across it to depending on it for food. It's not unlike how whales and seals are considered marine species, despite occasionally appearing on land. Now let's talk about their appearance. At first glance, they look like fluffy white giants. But did you know their fur isn't actually white? It contains no pigment. That's right. The hairs are transparent and hollow. They only appear white because of the way they reflect sunlight, a clever natural camouflage that helps them blend in with snow and ice. When it comes to reproduction, polar bear mothers dig snow dens in the deep winter months. These insulated shelters are where the tiny cubs are born, blind, hairless, and weighing less than a kilogram. The mother stays with them in the den for several months, nursing and keeping them warm until they are strong enough to venture outside. Let's not forget one of their most remarkable senses, their understanding of smell. Polar bears can detect prey nearly a kilometer away, even under thick layers of ice and snow. This super sense is crucial for survival in a vast, often food-scarce landscape. Unfortunately, polar bears today face mounting challenges, and the greatest of these is climate change. As global temperatures rise, the Arctic sea ice is shrinking, and with it, the polar bear's access to food, mates, and safe breeding grounds. A direct consequence of melting ice is the loss of their hunting area. With less ice to roam and hunt from, polar bears must swim longer distances or move into human settlements in search of food, which often leads to conflict. Fortunately, conservationists are putting in continuous efforts to safeguard the polar bear habitat. This includes safeguarding critical denning areas, establishing marine reserves, and conducting long-term tracking research to better understand their movement patterns and behaviors. Public awareness campaigns and international cooperation also play a huge role in conservation efforts. To wrap up, polar bears are more than just symbols of the Arctic. They're top predators, environmental sentinels, and living proof of nature's remarkable adaptability, but also vulnerability. As we move forward, protecting them means protecting the fragile ecosystems they depend on. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in next week's lecture on Arctic marine life and biodiversity.
That is the end of Section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Please make sure you have transferred all your answers to the answer sheet correctly. The listening test is now over. You may now proceed to the reading section.